Hi lovelies, welcome back once again on my channel. So in this tutorial we'll learn how to cut this simple off shoulder bustier. That's sorry for today, guys. If this video is what you're interested in, kindly watch the end. Okay, so here I have my fabric here. I'll just go ahead and fold my fabric into two, so you can see my fabric is on fold. For you to get the amount of fabric we'll be using on fold, so you have to use the fullest part of your measurement, which is the bust circumference. So divide it by 2. Then you are going to determine all the dart intake you are going to be working on. So your bust circumference divided by 4 plus your dart intake. So that will determine the amount of fabric you put on hold. Remember, we are cutting directly on our fabric. So after that, then you go ahead and add your sewing allowance. Okay, so that will determine the amount of fabric you put on fold. So after that, you go ahead and so I'll be marking this down part here. So the salvage the raw edge, the written part, I don't want it to appear. So from there you're going to mark your shoulder to waist. Remember, we are working on half cut, half length, which is the shoulder to waist. So I'm going to determine my shoulder to waist measurement plus sewing allowance. If you are working with your shoulder, you go ahead and add extra 1 inch. Okay, or if you are working with half shoulder measurement, you can add half inch to your measurement. So here, after that, I'll go ahead and mark out my shoulder divided by 2. So this is what I have here. This is my shoulder measurement divided by 2. From there, you're going to mark half inch. You count that by half an inch. So from that shoulder measurement, you're going to determine your armhole length. You can divide your bust circumference by 12 plus 1 inch, or you go ahead and use your shoulder measurement divided by 2. So that is what I use there. So after that, the next thing is to connect. I'll connect my shoulder slope. So here I'm working with the neck measurement of standard neck measurement of 3 by 3. Remember, we are not needing this upper part, but just in case if you want to attach yoke to your bustier, so that is why I'm doing all this. So I'll go ahead and connect my shoulder slope. Then from shoulder slope, I'll measure and get the hip point in the middle of my armhole. Then I'll go in by half an inch. This is just a normal basic bodice. I hope you all know it. Then here I'll go ahead and mark my the chest line. I marked my bust circumference divided by 4. Then I'll connect the lines like so that I'll be able to get my armhole curve. So after that, from the shoulder, I'll place my tape. Then I'll mark my bust point measurement, then my under bust point measurement. So we are going to mark this line. So this is my under bust. Okay, so here from this bust point, I will go up by half an inch on both sides, up and down half an inch. The reason is I don't want it to have a pointed end. That is why I went up by half of an inch. Then you're going to input your bust span measurement or your nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. Then your mark. So this is what I'm doing here. From the bust point, I'll connect it down to the waist line. So after that, the next thing now is to do what? To determine our over bust. So how many inches you'll be using. I'll use 5 inches or 6 inches. So here I use 6 inches. You can decide to use 5, 6 depending on how you want it. Okay, so I use 6 inches. This is my over bust. So from this over, I'm going to extend this nipple to nipple line all the way to my over bust measurement like so. So I'll go ahead and connect it. So after connecting like this, the next thing from that over bust measure, we're going to do our bust tightening. Okay, but before then, I'm going to mark my neckline, the depth of my neckline. So here you can determine whatever, because I'm making a sweetheart neckline. So from the I came down by 1.5 inch from my over bust, or you just place your tape on your shoulder, then determine how deep you want it. So after that, from this side, the over bust, the nipple to nipple line, I'll go ahead and do my bust tightening. I use 1 inch on both sides. Okay, I use 1 inch on both sides. Then on the under bust measurement, you can use 1 inch or 1.25 inches. We are going to extend it down to the waistline like so. Then after that, you go ahead and connect. So here from my waistline down from the other bust down to the waistline, I connected with a straight rule. So from the bust point, you're going to connect it with a curve rule. You can see the way I'm curving it. So this is it. So you are going to do the same thing on the over bust line like so. Go ahead and connect it. Then you repeat the same thing on the other side Okay, so we are trying to get our bustier. So you can see our bustier is forming out. So after that, then the next thing is to connect our neckline, your desired neckline. So that is it. So you can see here I'll be using sweetheart neckline. So the next thing is to go ahead and connect my sweetheart neckline. So you're going to connect it. You can see the way I've connected it like so. After connecting, go ahead and input your body measurement. So sorry, my camera didn't capture that part. So remember to add your dart intake. Okay, so after that you cut it out. So this is for the back here. You can see I've done the same thing on my fabric. I folded my fabric into two. So I removed 1.5 inches for my zipper allowance. So I'm repeating the same thing, standard neck measurements, but in the back I use 2 inches. So this is just optional. Okay, I'm not working with the yoke, so I won't be needing that part. So from here you're going to measure your shoulder measurement to your nipple to nipple measurement here, or you can use 9 inches, which is the standard. Then you go ahead and mark your this is bust point. The underbust rather is optional as well. So here I'm using 9 inches, or you can use your bust point. So for the back, I'm going to be using my chest line. Okay, you can go ahead and come down. You can use more than your chest line. So my chest line is 8 inches, so you can use 9. All right, you can use 10, you can use 11, depending on how you want it. So if you're using 10, this is how you connect it all the way to your armhole. So but here, because I'll be using I don't want it to down, so I'll be using my chest line. So from here you go ahead and mark your nipple to nipple measurement. Okay, so divided by 2, then you mark starting from that chest line, okay, or your neckline, then down to the waistline. So from the waistline, you're going to mark half inch on both sides. Sorry, you're going to mark half inch on both sides. Then you connect it like so all the way to the chest line. All right, so after that, the next thing now is to do what we're going to be eliminating our zipper board. So from here I'll go in by half an inch, then I'll connect it like this in a slant form into the neckline like so. You can see this is me trying to eliminate the zipper bulge. All right, so after that, the next thing now is to do what, to mark our body circumference. So here I'm trying to make sure everything is equal. So here I went ahead to put my body measurement. So here, then you're going to add your sewing allowance. Remember, we are cutting directly on fabric, so go ahead and add your sewing allowance. Okay, then on the waist you do the same thing. So after that, remember to add your dart intake. Remember your dart intake, your body circumference plus your waist circumference plus your dart intake, then your sewing allowance. Okay, don't forget. So after that, I'll go ahead and connect it like so. So after connecting, I was trying to make sure that everything is equal, especially the armhole area. I wanted to make sure it aligns properly with the front, to avoid the case of after sewing you find out that one is longer than the other one. So that is what you can see why I placed the front on the back, to make sure everything is properly arranged, or they are all equal. I don't know the best English to use. Okay, so that is it. So you can see I'm still trying to demonstrate. If you want your back to be a little bit lower, you can come down and connect it straight, make it maybe a slightly curved into the armhole. All right, so after that, now I will just go ahead and cut it out. So you can see the upper part, we don't need that yoke. If you are working with the yoke, then you can go ahead and cut out your yoke, but we are not working with the yoke. So this is the off shoulder, with a sleeveless or spaghetti hands. That is what we make. So guys, so we have come to the end of this class or this tutorial. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, like and share. All right, so see you guys in my next video. That will be all for now. Bye.